Good morning, everyone. Let's see. I'm doing this by myself today, so let's see if I can manage and get this worked out. Let me just see. I decided I would have my coffee with everybody this morning, and I decided I would try this, but oh my goodness, I'm all over. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I had some exciting news to share today. Something I was not planning on at all. And I don't know if anyone is out there in Facebook world this morning or if everyone is working. But good morning, good morning, good morning. So I just wanted to share a bunch of things. So I have some very exciting news today. I am the front page cover girl of the Woman of Faith magazine. It's a global magazine. So it's going out today all over the world. So who would have thought? So I just wanted to jump on and just kind of chat with people. As I was sitting here this morning, I was like, I'm so humbled that something like this has happened to me. I posted something on my Facebook page this morning, and just let me see what it was. I can't quite remember how it went, but it was just something simple. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Always be kind. And I was like, you know what? I feel like because of what I walked through and because of part of my story, I feel like God has really kind of made me super sensitive to what other people are going through. We all have a story. Sometimes people know everything about our story, and sometimes our story is really public, and sometimes people really have no idea what our story has been and what we've been through. And I know myself, this morning I got a message from Liz, who is the owner of the magazine. And for those of you just jumping on, I had exciting news that through the avenue of my book coming out and people that I had met. I met Tressa from down in Atlanta. She was at a Real Talk Kim conference and we connected, and through connections of hers, I was asked to be on the cover of the magazine for women. Oh, what is it called again? Faith Alive or Women Alive? Oh my God, Women of Faith. Oh my goodness. I will be posting it on my page and I will get this down pat. But through that process, I was asked to be on the magazine cover and do a story and an interview. And I was really humbled, that all these doors that God is opening up. And, today I just had a flashback of where I was. So here I am. I'm 52 years old, and I got asked to do something I never thought in a million years I would be asked to do, and to be on this magazine cover and have a story written about me. And I just thought, you know what, God is so amazing. Because again, not everyone knows our journey and our story. But I remember back when I was 40 years old, diagnosed with cancer, fighting for my life, feeling, when I spoke in Alabama, I was feeling like an ugly duckling. When you are a woman of any age at all, and you get a breast cancer diagnosis, and you have to go through having a mastectomy, whatever those surgeries include, just let me tell you, they're not fun. You feel like really like a monster. It's not anything that's flattering and wonderful. So I went through a process of feeling less than a woman, less than beautiful. I talk about in my book, people can sometimes judge you. Like I know all the time, still to this day, and it's been years later, I get judged because I wear false eyelashes. So yes, I have false eyelashes on, wear them every day. But I learned that I wasn't going to let the devil steal my joy. So through my cancer journey, that's one of the things that happened was my lashes fell out. My brows fell out. They never come back. Now my hair grew back. This is like my virgin hair. I don't do anything with it. I don't perm it. I don't color it. I guess I got good genes. My mom doesn't really have a lot of gray hair at her age, but my hair grew back, and it grew back curly actually. But my lashes and my eyebrows, they never grew back. So it's just like I had a choice at that moment in time. It's like, okay, do I just sit at home and feel sorry for myself? Do I feel like the ugly duckling? Do I just not move forward? Or do I put my best foot forward and try my best to say, okay, what can I do that actually, oh, God bless you, Dr. Club. I miss you. We got to get together for coffee sometime. But I thought, what do I do with this? Do I just stay at home and I feel sorry for myself and just give up wearing makeup, give up looking pretty, give up the desires of my heart of how God made me? Because I love to dress up. I love to celebrate life. I love things that are fancy. I love things that are shiny. Now, I have no idea where that come from. I laugh all the time and say, maybe it came from growing up on the farm and, doing farm life and thinking, oh man, I just want to dress up. I have no idea. But that being said, I had a choice all those years ago that I was like, okay, what do I do with this? So I decided I would learn. So farm girl, yes, I had worn makeup before in my life, but I never got into the eyebrows, eyelashes, the next level of, everything else. So I decided I'm going to learn how to do this, and I did. Did I do great at first? No, probably not. I researched it out. I learned that there was eyebrow stencils. Through trial and error, I learned about lashes. Actually, I went on a trip after I was kind of all in the clear and I was healed and my story kind of was going in a different direction. I actually took a trip to the UK. And I can remember, oh, God bless them, I was staying with John Wilkinson's parents for my birthday. And Caroline actually took me out for my, I think it was for her 40th birthday, but it was after the fact. But she took me for a MAC makeover. And that was the first time I'd had a MAC makeover. And here I was, a little farm girl from Oil Springs. And I was in the UK having a MAC makeover and learning about eyelashes. So this little girl, her name was Coco. I'll never forget it because I thought, what a crazy name, Coco. But, Coco Chanel. So anyway, hi guys. Hi Margie. How are you? Todd, how are you doing, brother? Good to see you. We have to get together this year. We do. We have to get together. I bought an amazing Christmas tree from him. And every time I dig it out, I'm like, we've not got together yet. So we have to get together. But I remember thinking this girl, she was so full of all this wisdom and giving me all these tips. And she's like, you know what, when you put false eyelashes on, it's all about the glue. And I was like, okay, it's all about the glue. So I thought, I can do this. I can learn if she's telling me that. And she said, if you take these off really carefully, then you can reapply them the next morning. Because years back, it was harder to find false eyelashes than it is now. I know when I first started wearing them, I was paying like $30 or $40 a set. And I thought, okay, Jesus, this is crazy. But because it was a medical kind of thing, my doctor had wrote me a note. So when I was buying them, and they were super expensive, I was able to have that as a medical expense. So, you just got to work with the system, right? So anyway, why I'm saying all this is that, sometimes in our mess, when we think things are falling apart and they can't get better, it was through that time I was like, hey, this isn't so bad. Hey, Real Talk Kim, I love you, girl. So I learned to just glue on the eyelashes. I learned if I use duo glue that, man, those suckers were going to stay on. And I'm not going to lie, through the years of being a single mom, I use that, and man, I slept with them on. I washed my makeup off around, and I would just glue down the corners in the morning if I needed it. Because you got to do what you got to do. Because you know what I found out? The devil is not going to steal my joy. So through that season of feeling like an ugly duckling, and your hair falling out, your lashes falling out, your brows, blah, you've gone through a double mastectomy. Like, let me just tell you, I know what it's like to be tested, feel ugly, feel worthless. Shortly after I had my first surgery, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, we had a Disney cruise planned, and because Madison was only 8 at the time, we decided we'd still go on the cruise. Wow, that was super fun. So I got dressed up, because all you do is get dressed up and go out to eat, right, on cruises. So we went to eat on the top thing of the Disney boat in the Paleo Capello restaurant, and Alvin was our server. He was still amazing, and we're Facebook friends to this day, so it's kind of cool to stay connected with people. But I was sitting there at the table and, you know, feeling like sorry for myself, feeling like, how did I get here? How am I going to move past from here? And, you know, this woman who had kind of was staring at me all night. And like I'm telling you, she was together. She was stunning. She was beautiful. She was tall. I remember she had long blonde hair. She had diamond earrings on that, you know, were the size of a bracelet. And, you know, just a stunning woman dressed to the nines. And she came over to me and she said, and I talked about this in my book, but it's a great story. It was just like how God gives us these little tokens when we need it. And, you know, so she came over to the table and she said, do I know you? And I'm thinking, girl, you don't know me. I don't know where you're from. I'm from Canada. I'm a little country bumpkin. So anyway, she said, she goes, are you a famous designer? And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? I said, oh, no. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I always wanted to be a designer. But being born and raised on a farm, my dad could not see for the life of him that would even be an occupation that anyone could make money on. You had to get into healthcare if you were going to make any money. So I worked in nursing for years. But anyway, at the time, I had, oh, thank you, Margie. You just finished my book and it was great. Thank you so much. That's, you know what? That's what I wrote it. I pray it blessed you and encouraged you, increased your faith. That's what I want it to do to people, increase their faith. So anyway, as this lady was talking to me, I was thinking, wow, this is crazy. Like, I owned a restaurant at the time. So I owned my tea room when I got diagnosed and I ended up having to sell it. But this lady, you know, she's asking me if I'm a famous designer. And I was like, no, I actually own a tea room back in Canada. And she said, you know what, you should look into getting into the fashion industry and being a designer. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And you know, she's like, I've watched you all night and you're so beautiful and you're so together and I love your style and this, that, and the other thing. And I thought, wow. I said, you know, I thanked her and, you know, I said, you know, have a great holiday, da-da-da-da-da. And I was just blown away. I sat at the table after that and I thought, wow, God is so good, you know, because when I left to go out that night, I was not feeling wonderful. I felt, you know, like, again, this ugly duckling syndrome that, you know, why me? Why am I going through this? You know, I don't understand. And yet God sent me a token when I needed it. And, you know, when I was feeling down on myself, which so many women, we go through that, right? I know men don't have a problem. Like my husband said, men can go by a mirror, flex their muscles and feel amazing and be fine. But women, we are a little bit more critical of ourselves. And especially when you go through something as invasive as a mastectomy, I'm telling you, it's not great fun. So I just remembered that moment and thinking, you know what, God is so good that, you know, he would send these little tokens along the way when I needed it, when I was feeling down, and, you know, when I was feeling far from beautiful. So over the years, I learned to roll with it. I learned to wear the lashes, do the brows, you know, be my best. I even actually learned to wear wigs. You know, I needed spare hair at the time, so, you know, I rocked that. And you know what? I just learned to embrace how God made me, what made me feel good, what made me feel confident. And as women, sometimes we really struggle with that. But I was blown away this morning when I was thinking, you know what? Here I am, and for everybody jumping on late, I am on the cover of an international women's magazine. I'll be posting soon. But God is so good. And sometimes, you know, and he still does miracles today. So I know in my book, it's like, not talking about my book again, but Beauty in the Ashes is like seeking God for your miracle in your mess. God still does miracles today. And today I felt like, you know what, this is another miracle in my life. Because here I am, all of my story I've been through. When I was 40 years old and diagnosed with, you know, invasive breast cancer that, you know, they were telling me wasn't good, and let's pray it hasn't spread to your bones and your brain. I would never have thought that at 52, I was going to be asked to be on the cover of a magazine, and let alone feel like I was, you know, beautiful enough to even, you know, take that on. So I just wanted to encourage everyone. God is good. In the middle of our mess, He can turn things around like we wouldn't believe. You know, he is for us, not against us. And I just think of how many stories, I mean, I don't run out of stories. I got so many stories and testimonies of what God's done for me. And today it was just a confirmation of yet another one. And, you know, I just think, wow, I am truly amazed how fantastic God is. And, you know, we literally can do all things through him. And a shout out to Tressa. So my friend Tressa, I don't want to get long because I know that I'm just babbling here, having my coffee, coming on to celebrate. But my friend Tressa. So Tressa is a Canadian. And we're going to have to go live sometime when our life settles down a little bit. But Tressa is a Canadian. And Tressa saw me post online at the airport with my fascinator on because I wear them every day. And, you know, she saw me post and she's like, who is this girl? Because Tressa is from Canada. And she's out west. And we were both going to Real Talk Kim's conference in Atlanta. And it's funny how God just has a way of connecting people. So, and don't mind the noise. I decided to sit outside. And now I have big trucks going by. So I apologize. But anyway, what I found in the last few years especially is God is just gathering up like-minded people. So, you know, I went to Atlanta to Real Talk Kim's conference, and I met Tressa, and we connected right away. And one of the things she said that, you know, and I don't want to steal her story because she can explain it someday, was she felt connected because of my fascinator. And she's like, oh my goodness, I would love to wear that every day, but, you know, I don't feel I could, or what would people say, or all these things that women think. And you know what? I honestly, I was like, yeah, well, you gotta just get that thrown off of you. You know what I mean? God has created us to be these amazing people, and each one of us has, you know, our desires inside of us. And sometimes people wear ball caps, like Madison on her day off, she wants to wear a ball cap. You know, people color their hair, people cut their hair short, people have their hair long. Who cares? As long as you're who God wants you to be and you feel happy in your own skin, that's the most important thing, that you feel confident. And whatever that looks like, something different for every person, right? So anyway, we connected down in Atlanta, Tressa and I, and Tressa is the one that introduced me to Liz, that's in South Africa. And Liz is the owner of the magazine, and she did the interview, and she did a beautiful editor's story and shout out to me, and I appreciate it so much. And Tressa wrote an article about me. So thank you, Tressa. You did an amazing job, and what an amazing opportunity. And I'm just amazed. I'm saying amazing a lot because I'm so overtired the last week. Please forgive me. It's been a lot of stuff happening, but I am just, I'm blown away by the goodness of God. And thank you, Tressa, for being so amazing and so diligent at what you do. You know, Tressa has her own talk show, Talking with Tressa. She's been a supermodel for, I don't know, 30 years or something. She looks like $1 million, let me tell you. And she's been a cover girl for a long time. But anyway, I just wanted to get on here to say I'm super excited, and never give up. Never think that you're not worthy. You know, get down on yourself. Sometimes women, and I think that's basically why I wanted to write my story and just start sharing stuff that I've been through in my life, because, you know, as women, sometimes we feel unworthy. Sometimes we don't feel beautiful. Sometimes we feel like we've hit the impossible wall. I know, even being a mother of a special needs kid, it's just like, it's a lot sometimes, but never give up on your dreams. Here I am sitting thinking I would never be on a cover girl magazine for women of faith, like in a million years. But here I am, and you know, God is just so fantabulous. I can't even put it in words. So he can do the impossible, and I'm telling you, I have a lifetime of testimonies to tell you about, of all the impossible things that he's done for me. But I'm talking too much, so I'm going to sign off. I'm excited. I'm going for lunch with two of my oldest friends from high school. And yeah, we meet once a year, and today's the day. And I'm excited to catch up with them, and excited to hear what God's doing in their lives. And yeah, anyway, I'm going to share about the magazine, and if you want, you can share it with people. Apparently you can sign up to be a subscriber. So it's an international, global Women of Faith magazine. So it's pretty exciting because I've never really even heard of anything like that, but I kind of live under a rock. I'm not really technical when it comes to all that stuff out there on social media, but I'm learning, and Madison's teaching me, and Kelly and all kinds of other people are teaching me, and sorry about the motorbike, but anyway, you can sign up and subscribe to that, and it looks like there's some amazing information in there and connections, and also, just to find out what's going on in other parts of the world. So that's kind of cool too. So I'm going to sign off. And I don't think that's anything else. My coffee is getting cold because I'm talking too much, but love you guys, and never forget, little is much when God is in it. And we will talk to you soon. I think I'm going to go live with my husband tonight and see what he has to say about everything. Anyway, love you guys. Have a great day.